Welcome to lecture number 9. Lecture number 9 में we will briefly discuss what is auditing and the role of the auditor with respect to the financial reports. Then we will also discuss ethics. We will discuss the harmonization between different financial frameworks. So we will start with the concept of auditor opinion. An auditor, as you know, is a fully qualified accountant and a fully qualified auditor by qualification. You need a certain level of qualification in order to become an auditor. An auditor who is normally a certified public accountant in countries like USA conducts an independent examination of the accounting information presented by the business and issues a report thereon. An auditor's report is the formal statement of the auditor's opinion of the financial statements after conducting an audit. So what is an audit? Audit में जो आपका auditor होता है वो जो financial and accounting information किसी भी business entity ने provide की हुई होती है उसको examine करता है keeping in mind the financial framework और उसके बाद auditor gives an opinion. That is called the auditor's opinion. When you will look at the notes that I've provided, there are 4 types of audit reports. One audit report is the clean or unqualified audit report. Unqualified audit report वो होती है जिसमें as per the auditor it is a true and fair representation of the financial information provided by the business. Then second one is the qualified report. So if the report is clean, if the report is an unqualified report, then it is called an unmodified opinion. Unmodified opinion means that there is no change or no deviation in the opinion of the auditor whatsoever regarding the statement that the financial statements are true and fair. If the auditor has to change his or her opinion, then it is called the modified opinion. Modified opinion में आगे जाके you have 3 subtypes. One is the qualified opinion, then you have the adverse opinion, and the last one is called disclaimer of opinion. So what is an unqualified opinion? This opinion states that the financial statements present fairly in all material respects. As I told you in the earlier lectures, you should know about the concept of materiality. In all material respects, the financial position, results of operations and cash flows of the entity in conformity with GAAP. So unqualified opinion states that the reports are true and fair. Then the second one is the qualified opinion. A qualified opinion states that except for the effects of matters to which the qualification relates, the financial statements present fairly in all material respects the financial position, results of operations and cash flows of the entity in conformity with generally accepted accounting principles. So qualified opinion means that the report is basically true and fair, except for a few notes and except for a few points which then have to be mentioned in the auditor report. Then the third one is adverse opinion. Adverse opinion is a completely negative opinion generated by the auditor. This opinion states that the financial statements do not present fairly the financial position, results of operations and cash flows of the entity in conformity with GAAP. So adverse means negative. Adverse opinion means that whatever has been mentioned and whatever has been claimed in the financial reports is false. Then you have disclaimer of opinion. A disclaimer of opinion states that the auditor does not express an opinion on the financial statements. A disclaimer of opinion is rendered when the auditor has not performed an audit sufficient in scope to form form an opinion. Disclaimer of opinion का मतलब है कि maybe the auditor was not independent, या maybe all the information was not provided to the auditor. So whenever you come across disclaimer of opinion, you should not base your as a user, you should not base your opinion based on whatever has been claimed in the uh, financial reports. So in case of disclaimer of opinion, you cannot base your decision on the opinion of the auditor, because the auditor simply was not willing to give an opinion. That is called disclaimer of opinion. The typical unqualified or clean opinion for private companies has 3 paragraphs. We are talking about the unqualified or clean audit report. The first paragraph indicates that the financial statements have been audited and are the responsibility of the company's management. As you know, management is solely responsible for providing the financial reports. An auditor is not supposed to make financial reports on behalf of the company, क्योंकि वैसे में आपका कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट आएगा. So the paragraph 1 clearly states that it is company's responsibility, it is the management's responsibility to make the financial reports. This paragraph states that the auditors have the responsibility to either express an opinion. ऑडिटर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कि या तो ऑडिटर ओपिनियन दे उन फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्ट्स पे, या वो ओपिनियन ना दे, जिसको डिस्क्लेमर of opinion कहा जाता है. Second paragraph indicates that the audit has been conducted in accordance with GAAP standards. This will typically be expressed in terms of the standards of the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board in USA. For example, if the auditor is working in Pakistan, then obviously the auditor will have to follow the IASB standard, the IFRS financial framework the auditor will follow. The third paragraph gives an opinion on the statements that they are in conformity with GAAP. तो ये जो है basically the third paragraph जो है it relates to the opinion of the auditor. Then the audit opinion of a public company is similar to an opinion of a private company, except that the public company comments will be added as to the effectiveness of internal control over financial reporting. जो public companies का आता है उसमें normally internal control को भी mention किया जाता है when it comes to the audit reports of the public companies. When an unqualified opinion contains an explanatory paragraph or explanatory language, try to decide how seriously to regard the departure from a straight unqualified opinion. अनक्वालिफाइड जो ओपिनियन होता है उसमें भी एक्सप्लेनेटरी पैराग्राफ्स दिए जाते हैं. आपने देखना होता है कि वो किस लेवल के हैं. अगर तो लेवल उनका सिवियर है तो ऑब्वियसली उसमें अनक्वालिफाइड नहीं, उसमें क्वालिफाइड ओपिनियन देगा ऑडिटर. A disclaimer of opinion indicates that you should not look to the auditor's report as an indication of the reliability of the statement. As I've told you, whenever there is disclaimer of opinion, you cannot base and take your decisions on the auditor's opinion. Auditor's report. Now, before I proceed, I will tell you that there are in fact 3 different types of activities related to auditing. One is the review, then you have the compile, and the third one is audit. So we will talk about these in detail, what all these statements and what all these activities mean. Now, any business needs credibility in its financial statements. There are 3 main ways to do so: a compilation, a review, and an audit. Now, what is compilation? Compilation literally means to compile. So, what is done in compilation? This is the most basic accounting service, a cover page written by a CPA that accompanies a set of your financial statements. Having compiled financial statement shows lenders you have an association with the CPA, but does not offer a deep level of assurance on the accuracy of the financial statement. So what it simply does, compilation, that you hire A CPA, you hire someone qualified to compile the reports on behalf of the company. So it is the least powerful form of auditing. Then you have review. Review is in fact auditing. uh, Generally, review means that you do not audit in detail. Overall, the review process involves review and inquire on financials, make inquiries related to the accounting practices and principles used by the businesses, and performing analytical procedures to understand current year and prior year balances or current year balances outside the CPA's expectations. तो होता क्या है रिव्यू में भी basically you review the financial statements and everything, but you do not go into a lot of details as you do when you do auditing. The audit is the most thorough assurance service. As you know, assurance कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है? एश्योरेंस हाइपोथेसिस ये है कि ऑडिटर जो है वो जब किसी भी फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्ट पे अपना ओपिनियन देता है, फॉर एग्जांपल उसने किसी भी फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्ट पे अनक्वालिफाइड या क्लियर ओपिनियन दिया है, तो बेसिकली वो एश्योरेंस दे रहा है कि ये जो फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्ट्स हैं ये ट्रू एंड फेयर है और जो कंपनी की परफॉर्मेंस है एज पर दी फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्ट्स वो करेक्ट है. So auditing is the most powerful and thorough way of giving assurance service. So ये आपका basically concept थी auditor का. Auditor में you plan a major financing, you look for extended credit from major suppliers, you raise equity. If these are the things that you're planning to do, then you will be needing the services of the auditor. Or for example, if you're planning to sell your business, then you need an auditor to give assurance so you can receive better quotes and better offers against your business. Sometimes financial reports are presented without an accompanying accountant's report. This means that the statements have not been audited, reviewed, or compiled. Such statements are solely the representation of the management. Management financial reports बनाती है, अगर ना तो वो management उन reports को compile कराए, ना review कराए, ना audit कराए, तो वो उसका clear message ये होता है कि these are solely the representation of the management. There is no third party involved to give assurance to whatever the management is claiming. अच्छा, देन वी टॉक अबाउट द ऑडिटर रिपोर्ट्स ऑन द फर्म्स इंटरनल कंट्रोल्स. यूएसए में बहुत से ऐसे उसमें होते हैं कि दे से कि यू शुड इंक्लूड द रिपोर्ट रिलेटेड टू द इंटरनल कंट्रोल एज वेल. सो व्हाट इट डज, रिपोर्ट आपकी बहुत डिटेल्ड हो जाती है. फिर आपकी रिपोर्ट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट होती है ऑन इंटरनल कंट्रोल ओवर फाइनेंसिंग, फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग. जो मैनेजमेंट होती है वो भी अपनी रिपोर्ट देती है जो नॉर्मली आपका मेन रिपोर्ट का हिस्सा बनता है. Here, I've already told you about the management's responsibility for financial statements. It is solely the responsibility of the management to provide the financial statements. The auditor, all the auditor does is that the auditor gives the opinion based on those financial statements. Then you have proxy. Proxy is an American concept. The solicitation sent to stockholders for the election of directors and for the approval of other corporation actions. ये basically proxy होता है कि how do you communicate with your stockholders, so that is called proxy. But then you have the summary annual report, जो annual report आपकी बनती है उसकी एक summary होती है, उसकी अपनी limitations होती हैं, उसमें बहुत सी चीजें जो हैं you do not include. Then what is efficient market hypothesis? Efficient market hypothesis states that share prices should reflect all of the information. जो भी stock exchange पे किसी भी company की share prices हैं, those share prices should be a true reflection of where the company stands. ये why it was needed, उसकी वजह है कि बहुत सी companies जो है उन्होंने artificially, fraudulently अपनी share prices को increase किया हुआ था, though in reality the financial position was not that strong. Then you have ethics. Ethics and morals are synonymous. Ethics is derived from the Greek, morals is derived from the Latin. They are interchangeable. बहुत सी जगहों पे ethics और morals जो हैं इनको interchangeably use किया जाता है. अच्छा, ethics affect all individuals. from the financial clerk to the high level financial executives. So you have to give a lot of weightage to ethics when we talk about the functionality of any corporation. Corporations में ethics have become a very intriguing and a very important topic which needs to be taken care of all the times. अब ethics can, you see, directly affect the financial reports of any company. तभी जो आपके जनरली एक्सेप्टेड अकाउंटिंग प्रिंसिपल्स होते हैं उनमें स्पेस मिल जाती है कि यू कैन मोल्ड द ओपिनियन अकॉर्डिंग टू योर रिक्वायरमेंट. उस सिनेरियो में एथिक्स प्ले अ वेरी मेजर पार्ट. देन वी टॉक अबाउट द हार्मोनाइजेशन. हार्मोनाइजेशन ये है कि हाउ डज the different accounting principles try to harmonize and synchronize their functionality. Why is it needed? Suggested problem caused by the lack of harmonization of international accounting standards include the following: a need for employment of key personnel in multinational companies to bridge the gap. For example, एक कंपनी है जो पाकिस्तान और यूएसए में भी ऑपरेट करती है. पाकिस्तान में we are using IFRS, यूएसए में we use GAAP. So we need different personnel, to bridge that gap ताकि आप अपनी रिपोर्ट को एक फॉर्मेट से दूसरे फॉर्मेट में प्रेजेंट कर सकें. Then you have difficulties in reconciling local standards for access to other capital market. For example, यूएसए में अगर किसी कैपिटल मार्केट को आपने अप्रोच करना है, in that case you will have to reconcile your reports as per the standard being adopted by those capital markets. Difficulties in assessing capital markets for companies for less developed countries. जो less developed countries हैं उनके लिए, for them it is very hard to access the capital markets of developed countries. Why? Because there's a discrepancy between the accounting standards being used. Negative effect on the international trade of accounting practice and services. So all these contribute to this. Then domestic accounting standards had developed to meet the needs of domestic environments. A few of the factors that influence accounting standards locally are as follows. Locally जो आपके accounting standards होते हैं, how are those standards affected? लिटिगस इन्वायरमेंट होती है. जैसे अब यूएसए में हर चीज में लिटिगेशन हो सकती है. हर चीज में वो आपको कोर्ट में लेके जा सकते हैं फॉर एनी फाइनेंशियल प्रैक्टिस दैट यू हैव कंडक्टेड विच मे बी अदर्स थिंक इज नॉट अप टू द मार्क. तो वो लिटिगेशन आपके इश्यूज आ सकते हैं. हाई रेट्स ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन हो सकती है. जब हाई रेट्स ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन होती है तो ऑब्वियसली आपको अपने फिक्स्ड एसेट्स जो आपके पीपीई हैं उनको आपको बार बार रिवैल्यू करना पड़ेगा. अदर प्राइस लेवल एडजस्टमेंट्स और आपको साथ डिस्क्लोजर्स उसमें करने पड़ते हैं कि कौन कौन सी चीजें हैं जिसकी वजह से आपको रिवैल्यूएशन बार बार करनी पड़ रही है. मोर एम्फेसिस ऑन फाइनेंशियल रिपोर्टिंग, इनकम टैक्स इन सर्टेन कंट्रीज वगैरह आपका होता है. फिर आपका रिलायंस ऑन ओपन मार्केट होता है. अब वर्ल्ड हैज बिकम अ ग्लोबल प्लेस, सो अकॉर्डिंगली यू हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ other markets existing in other countries. The following have been observed to have an impact on a country's financial accounting operation: who the investors and creditors are, which users need your information, how many investors and creditors there are, how close is the relationship between businesses and इन्वेस्टर्स और क्रेडिट ग्रुप्स. तो ये तमाम जो चीजें होती हैं ये किसी भी कंट्री के फाइनेंशियल अकाउंटिंग ऑपरेशन को इफेक्ट कर सकती हैं. With this backdrop of fragmentation, it has been difficult in the short run, if not impossible, to bring all national standards into agreement. इसी में अब आपके जो दो मेन नॉर्मली हम डिस्कस करते हैं वो आपके होते हैं गैप एंड IFRS. अब बहुत सी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं इंक्लूडिंग यूएन जिन्होंने दे हैव shown a lot of proactive approach in bringing about the harmonization of international accounting standards. उन्होंने अपने एंड पे डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस बनाई हुई हैं जो इन चीज़ों को लुक आफ्टर करती हैं. जैसे आपका FASB है यूएस में, फिर आपका यूरोपियन इकोनॉमिक कम्युनिटी है अपने एंड पे, यूरोपियन एंड पे. देन यू हैव दी OECD, देन यू हैव इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंस फेडरेशन ऑफ अकाउंटेंट्स. ये आपकी जो है ये बेसिकली करती है आपका डील करती है IASB से. I have already told you about IASB. वो it was established in 2001. अच्छा, अब IASB does not have authority to enforce its standards. I've already told you. ये different countries adopt करती हैं, जो इस वक्त around 144 countries में already adopt हो चुका है. IASB issue करती है IFRS standard. The term IFRS now refers to the entire body of international standards, as we are using IFRS in Pakistan. अब इनका अपना IASB और FASB की अपनी नॉर्मल होती रही हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल दे हैड अ मीटिंग इन 2005. उसके बाद उन्होंने 2006 में अगेन दे हैड अ मीटिंग जिसमें उन्होंने रोड मैप बनाया था. उस पे दे सेट सम टॉपिक्स आइडेंटिफाइड फॉर शॉर्ट टर्म कन्वर्जेंस इंक्लूड. दोनों फाइनेंशियल फ्रेमवर्क बॉडीज ने अपने एंड पे डिफरेंट फाइनेंशियल एस्पेक्ट्स उठाए थे. जैसे FASB ने फेयर वैल्यू ऑप्शन उठाया, इम्पेयरमेंट, इनकम टैक्स. IASB ने बोरोइंग कॉस्ट, इम्पेयरमेंट, इनकम टैक्स ऑन उठाए थे कि इनको हम अपने एंड पे we will look into it and try to harmonize. Then FASB and IASB also agreed on major joint topics. These topics are as follows. उन्होंने ये different topics बनाए थे कि यार ये चीजें जो हैं इस पे now we agree with each other. अब one thing is agreeing, then you have to take that agreement forward. So usme obviously things are slow. They are working on it. They are trying to harmonize the functionality of both IASB and FASB. So this is the end of lecture number 9. 7, 8 9 lectures में accrual basis और जैसे आपका उसमें आएगा फिर प्री पेमेंट्स आएंगी, accrued payments आएंगी. All these we will be doing in the MS Teams class.